Look at you over there, baby dolls. If Cope could talk, it would sound like this. What I'm about to tell you is shocking. Willy Woo, one of the crowd favorites from the Bitcoin maxi community. He's not a Bitcoin maxi. They just put him as one because there are a lot of altcoins that destroyed everybody in crypto in 2017. He focused on Bitcoin. Good on him. He released this chart. This is a very important chart, friends. I can't tell you how important this chart is. This is showing the most dangerous thing of all, which is paper Bitcoin versus real Bitcoin, otherwise known as fake Bitcoin. Instead of paper, write fake. It's not paper, it's fake. Fake Bitcoin versus real Bitcoin. Look at this ratio. It's going up over time. It's going up over time. Very bad. All of my videos that you like, subscribe, and press the bell button to, and shock the algorithm for me, all of them come down to this. They come down to the fact that the bug eaters, JP Mosquito, Bank of Ants, Goldman Slugs, they're all coming for paper Bitcoin. Roca Negra, the ETF, is a Trojan horse. I've made so many videos, my early videos, I've made many for you to tell you how they specifically do it. Like from one exchange to the other, how they do it. In a nutshell, if you want to short Bitcoin on their scam systems, you don't need to deposit Bitcoin. You don't need to deposit it. Let's give that an X. Instead, you can deposit printed fiat. You see how dangerous that is? They can print the fiat currency, put it on all the exchanges, and then they can start selling. Very unfortunate. This is what they do for gold. This is how they control the price. This is what they have to do to defend the sanctity of the US dollar. This is what they must do. You can't hate the government. They have to keep their number one position. This is how you maintain dominance. But I want you to know they're coming for Bitcoin. They're already here for Bitcoin. That's why this is a bombshell. Really rude. He's revealed that there is now 30% more paper Bitcoin being traded now. Remember, paper Bitcoin is fake Bitcoin. This actually counteracts the bullish supply shock of a halvening. This will continue to trend up over time, as I've shown you. There will be more fake paper Bitcoin over time. It'll continue coming in. This is dangerous to price. Why? I explain it to you. For them to get short, they don't need to buy Bitcoin off the exchanges and deposit it for credit. All right. So if you have an account, they say, hey, you want to put on a 10x short, sir? They go, yeah, okay. You want to put in $1 billion worth of short? They go, all right. You need to go and buy $10 million, or let's say you want to do $1 billion, okay? 10x leverage. You would need to buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin price at the time was 30K. Yes, you would need to deposit 3,300 Bitcoin. That would be an honest world. We don't live in that world. This is how they short oil. This is how they short gold. This is how they short anything they want. That's how they control it. So instead of you being required to go and buy the underlying, they go, hey man, you don't need to put Bitcoin in the account, $100 million. You can just give us $100 million in cash. And you go, wait a minute, that's a bit of a naughty thing. What do you mean by cash? Cash, fiat, treasuries, securities have nothing to do with Bitcoin, the thing I'm trying to bet on its price going down. And they'll say, tough luck, get out of here. Now you probably wonder, how does this accrue in popularity? And it's because of leverage, friends. You understand? If you trade on the paper Bitcoin accounts, which is all the stock market broker accounts, they'll give you cheaper loan rates. They'll give you sweetener deals. You'll be able to use that collateral to go get a loan. How much advantageous is that? I'm going to ask you this. Let's say you had $1 million worth of Bitcoin. If you had spot Bitcoin and you went to go get a home loan, they'll say, you know what? We can't count that spot Bitcoin. Get out of here. But if you transferred it, if you sold that spot Bitcoin and then go buy into their paper Bitcoin, you will now have $1 million of collateral and will now give you the loan. In fact, we'll give you a better interest rate because we know you can sell the Bitcoin at any time. That's what they do with gold. So this is not like an imaginary scenario. This is what they've been doing with gold for like 20 years plus. This is how they actually trap everybody in gold. It's because everybody keeps choosing to leverage with gold. That's why the Bitcoin maxis always say leverage is a sin. Chasing yield is a sin. That's why they always say that, because it comes from those types of thinkings. Now, remember when I started this video, I said to you, cope, cope, cope. You're going to see some very copeful comments from the original thread. It's shocking, friends. But this is the second chart, okay? So this chart just shows you the liquid Bitcoin, the ones that they want to dump. If you notice, it's been going down here, but it's a bit of cope mode. So liquid means they're moving it around to dump. So yes, short term, they're like, oh, wow, you've been going down for a few years. But I mean, it's not that much, right? By comparison. Look at this. Long term, this harms the price parabola. Why? It lets institutions, without owning Bitcoin, dump it. Exactly the method I just told you. This is how Roca Negra strangles Bitcoin. When they strangle it and the price can't go up anymore, and you're a BlackRock, I said the word, you're a Trojan horse, then they can usher in proof of stake, their ultimate goal. Do you see? Remember my chart here? This is my chart. I don't know if it's going to play out, but I just, think about it. If you can get everybody long, how are you going to get them to vote for proof of stake in Bitcoin if you are Roca Negra? You can't. Everybody's too happy. That's right. There's actual smiley face here. See the smiley face up the top? That's what it's there for. Chilling out. How can you get them to vote for proof of stake? You dump it down to the gulag. When you dump it down, you can put in the fake media and say, look at you. You were poisoning the environment. You are paying Chinese miners to go and dump all these electricity bills on the world. You can't even go up anymore. It's not light enough. I know. Let's make you proof of stake. Let's get everybody to vote over, moving on to our new system. And there you go. So not only have they strangled, they've now sucked the life out. Is this going to play out in that time frame? We don't know. I'm just telling you to be careful. I'm telling you to be careful and confirm our friendship. So what can we do? Okay, what can we actually do? Well, you actually can't do anything. It's too late. And friends, of course it's too late. Bitcoin's not $1 anymore. It's not $10 or $100 anymore. It's not even $1,000 anymore. All right. When this all happens, it's going to be $50,000 to $100,000 range. It's been going up for 14 years. So we can't just say, oh, golly gee, what do we do? The whole point of getting in was to front run all these institutions coming, because they would have to do something to stop it, which involves manipulating and doing this. We're in the then they fight you phase. So another alternative, which is they try to do this, you can tell everyone to withdraw their Bitcoin into their wallet. That would cause a supply shock. But I don't think enough people are going to listen. I hope they do. And if they started doing it, I'm sure they'll then take out the gloves and just try to ban it. All right? They'll try to ban it. Look what they did in the GME, the scum fund. What they call Mervyn Capital, whatever they were. The guys who shorted GME and got destroyed. AIMS, whatever, GME, AMC, whatever it was. Remember that meme stock shorter? They just went and made a phone call. They're like, nah, see ya. They literally banned the buy button. They banned the buy button. You weren't allowed to buy and put these guys offside more. We'll never forget that. Funny, we actually lived through that part of history, friends. It's crazy. You want to tell me that aliens aren't real when they literally banned the buy button because we were liquidating their biggest, most dangerous scum bugger-eating hedge funds? Really? Don't forget, they made a deal with the devil. Roca Negra is here. Bitcoin as a mind virus, though, has already succeeded. We're all here because of it. The mind virus has succeeded. Decentralization. Remember, the power of good is decentralized out there in the world. Evil wants to centralize in power, but they never make it too far, because evil multiplies itself and then everybody wants to take over and then nothing works together. The force of good always is decentralized. Bitcoin, however, as a force of good, still won't give you parabolic price wealth from here. Don't even think about it. Let's go to the cope mode. This part's going to make you cry, by the way. So I have highlighted here. This is the original thread from Willy Woo, from Woonomic. I do enjoy a lot of his data, and I've highlighted here. So what you're about to read are very intelligent people who are looking at the data and they're in denial. They're in denial because I want to tell you something. When Bitcoin was much cheaper, when it was a couple of thousands of dollars, these gentlemen and gentle ladies and squirrels and pet ducks, they were saying gold gets manipulated like this. If this ever happens to us, we're wrecked. But now that it's happening to the Bitcoin price and the Bitcoin fundamentals, they're saying, no, it's still good. It's still good. No, it's fine. We'll shrug it off. It's cope. It's cope. Mr. Root, carrot. Nice chart. Some nuance though. paper Bitcoin can influence spot in both directions. Whether it's a downtrend in liquid BTC can only move the price up, making the latter the dominant trend. And then unfortunately, Mr. Willy Woo, he won't have any of that type of nonsense, okay? Yes, in the short term, but in the long term, it will allow institutions who don't have Bitcoin to sell it down without restrictions, as long as they have a lot of, see this currency USD, it's printed monopoly money. You put the monopoly money in the credited account, and that's it. There you go, sweet. Get your infinite short on. See how the exponential reflexive bull runs ended once futures markets came online. See what he's saying? He's saying the exponential bull run. So as soon as futures came online, it was poopy town. We went into the cars. Also, Mr. Preston Pish, a man who I deeply respect, also a Bitcoin maxi. I'm going to read some comment here. An important difference between the gold and Bitcoin is that a majority of the existing gold stock, it's held by government entities and other banks that are in bed with government entities, versus Bitcoin has obsessed psychopaths hell-bent on ushering in a new financial system. So what Preston's saying is the Bitcoin diamond handles are better than the gold, and Bitcoiners really believe. Let me tell you, friends. Remember I told you, what did I tell you in the luckily, you like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. I give you the highest value content. What did the government do to get everyone in? They said, hello, if you have paper Bitcoin, look at all these benefits you get. You get cheaper margin rates, you get collateral, you can borrow it for your home, you can make your fees lower. Wow, you can do more leverage. You have all these features. You got like 5 critical features. But if you have poopy spot Bitcoin, you get nothing. You are thrown out. They won't even recognize it as collateral. You see that? What are you going to go to? Remember this saying, no one raindrop thinks it's the flood. I'm sure you've heard that before. That's why everybody thinks, oh man, I'm just looking after myself. Like, honestly, tell me this, right? You got a mortgage. Are you going to pay 6%, right? Or are you going to pay 6% to have your beautiful lover boy Bitcoin spot? Or are you going to go pay like 4%? They go, you know what? We recognize this as collateral if you had in paper Bitcoin. What are you going to do? Are you going to pay like, $3,000 every month for, or you'd be like, man, if I just switched it over, it's only $2,000. Do you see, friends? Do you see? They know how to manipulate. They know. That's why I'm here to inform you, keep you friendlier, wiser, smarter. I don't charge for any of this content. I just want your friendship. 1 like and 1 Ethereum when you make it at the very end. You don't have to pay it. You might even remember. I'm just telling you that I love you and appreciate you. Let's continue the cope. Mr. Gully. Do you expect this to open up for manipulation if the Bitcoin price the same way that the gold market has had? Yes, Mr. Gully. Yes, yes, yes. You have a black and white picture. You're probably a very serious person. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, you guys are silly. We're literally digital currency. We're literally saying, you guys went around with the fists up saying, we're going to fix the money, fix the world, let's take on the government. You think they're going to take his, like a little candy? Like a little baby holding a candy? Is that what you think they're not going to treat you like that? Okay, they're going to treat you like you're a tiger beast from the jungle. They're not going to treat us like, oh, well, look at these guys over here. We're in the then they fight you phase. Here is more cope. Yaroslav, okay? Everybody's getting even more bullish on Bitcoin. Bro, did you even read what Willie wrote? I know there are charts here. I know. Habib. Yes, there are nice, lovely charts that we can zoom in. I'm just telling you right now. This bye. Yes, I know. This zone, I know what chart he's using here, friends. It's like things might be Cuban's channel part. This doesn't matter. This standard deviation bands are nothing. But this part, you see here, this is only like a 75 to 85k range. Okay, but like, I know it doesn't look much on the chart, but that's an enormous difference. When everyone's expecting, say, see up here, everyone's expecting the top band to be breached, which is about 120k plus. It's very sad. We're now arguing about whether Bitcoin's going to hit 80k or 120k. Like, hello, it's finished, friends. It's finished. We're not arguing about it's going to be 5 million or 2 million. Gee, I don't know. It's like 80k or 120k. Do you know how sad that is? That's not even a 2x. Like the average market participant expects less than a 2x from the previous 2020-21 high. What happened? Even Mr. Nomi actually read the post. Look, more. Senor Bitcoin, senor, I salute you, sir. Saying, is this intentional, artificial, process deflation? Yes, senor. Si. Si, senor. If you can't see it now, you never see it. Of course it is. They're like, oh, geez, that's weird. The amount of fake Bitcoin is going up exponentially right into the Roca Negra ETF. Jeez, that must be such a coincidence, hey? Here we go as well from Mr. V. Cryptoverse 8. Doesn't this defeat the purpose of Bitcoin if we can just create paper Bitcoin? Yes. Yes. Look at everyone asking questions, fans. They're just too scared because they're Bitcoin maxis. They're like, wait a minute. Yeah, it is. Look at this. I went to the bio. I wasn't even guessing. Look at this. Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin maxi. So, oh, and VeChain as well. Oh, man. I don't want to show you the VeChain chart. Friends, what you're witnessing now is Cope squared. It's people who are like, wait a minute. Something's wrong here because now you know why, friends. Now you know why. Despite me, I love decentralization. I love it all. However, I love winning too, okay? And I know if someone's going to win the race. You know, it's in a race. It's not good versus evil. It's a race. It's a game, okay? Someone's going to win the game. Someone gets to the end. Is it going to be you? Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to get there. Someone else is going to go figure out, oh my God, I should be owning Ethereum, Chainlink, all the Colts, Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, Doge, all the other altcoins. I should be owning them because they're not tainted. There's more slippage. There's more retailers who want to buy them, and you can't artificially manipulate them down. You can only do it through Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin's a proxy, but still, you have a higher chance of success out there, even though what's the mainstream? They're saying you have a lower chance of success. That's where the future's heading. And of course, if that makes you flinch, that's good. That means it's not mainstream. That means there might be wisdom in those information pieces. Adam Back is rumored to secretly be Satoshi at one point. He says, well, this is sort of true. This breaks my heart. He goes, well, most of the short interest is synthetic, which means they're just harvesting funding rates on the US dollar. So they're buying Bitcoin spot and then they're shorting on the Bitcoin collateralized perps. That's actually delta neutral, as they have to buy Bitcoin to do it. All right, friends. That is, see this type of like super high IQ stuff. That's like the type of thing you read right before you get demolished. Because you can sit here and tell people, no, this is actually fine. People are delta neutral. You can say that. But what is the chart saying? Okay, the chart is telling you that Bitcoin used to do 20,000x. Okay. Then it did 600x. No futures yet. Then it did 100x. They launched futures up here. Okay. So remember these numbers: 20,000x, 100x. Okay. See that? And 600x. Look at that. They were beautiful numbers. Okay. Then they launched futures. We only went 20x. You see that? Then they've launched the futures ETF and the Roca Negra ETF. That's why I have this 5x here. Like, we're here to think about the future. We go, wait a minute. If introducing an ETF for futures made you go from 100x return, so if we go down here, you'd 100x down to 20. So we divided it by 5, okay? Now, we're not expecting an exact division of 5, but I'm thinking, well, clearly it's a sign of, you can look at it two ways, friends, but it's the same result, okay? One result is you go, okay, they did it on purpose to crush the price. You can have that. But the other way to think about it is it's a sign of maturing markets and less volatility. It doesn't matter what side of the boat you're on. Because you're basically saying the same thing. Not basically, you are saying the same thing. You're saying diminished gains and the best has already happened. Now it's only going to get worse from here in terms of relative gains going forward. Okay, so remember, it doesn't even matter what you really believe in. You know, oh, it's a conspiracy. They're all trying to take us to zero. Or you're like, oh, La La Land. It's all random. Anywhere, any extreme or anywhere in between, it's the same facts on the chart. You can sell it. You can see. And that's why I teach you. Metcalfe's Law. We got 200 million people, 220 million people holding Bitcoin. If you onboard 10 million, you don't even put a dent in it. Think about the other altcoins out there. And remember, you are my friend. Like, subscribe, bell button. I'll catch you next one. Tell mom and dad we love and appreciate them. See you soon.